Tonight on WTOP 10 News, a Tully High School teen is fighting back after being censored in his high school newsletter.
President Biden starts a busy week as he prepares to travel to Europe this week to support Ukraine.
And at home, the nomination for Biden's Supreme Court pick begins today. What could make this pick so historic?
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Thomas Caffarella.
And I'm Grace Parenti.
The nomination process for the President Biden Supreme Court pick begins today. President Biden picking Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson to succeed retiring Justice Stephen Breyer, who she previously clerked for.
Jackson says she could never replace Breyer, but hopes to carry on his life's works supporting for Justice Jackson, rallied in Washington, D.C. today to show their support for the justice. If nominated, Jackson would be the first African-American woman to serve of the Supreme Court. Jackson currently sits on the Washington, D.C.'s Federal Appellate Court, another first if she is confirmed. The hearing will continue tomorrow. Chris Enwell reports from Capitol Hill.
Ketanji Brown Jackson in the hot seat for the first day of confirmation hearings before the Senate Judiciary Committee.
This hearing of the Senate Judiciary Committee will come to order.
If confirmed, she'll become the first black woman to serve on our nation's highest court.
You are living witness to the fact that in America, all is possible.
Monday, offering a chance for President Joe Biden's Supreme Court pick to introduce herself to the panel, and an opportunity for all 22 members of the committee to deliver opening statements.
Her nomination, pending a confirmation by the Senate, will bring us one step closer to having a Supreme Court that is more reflective of our nation.
I am hoping that we can have a hearing that's respectful, that's informative, that's challenging.
The real test will come Tuesday when questioning begins. Jackson is no stranger to the process, though. As a federal judge, this is her fourth time sitting before the committee. Democrats praising her extensive experience on the bench.
If you were confirmed, you would be the first ever federal public defender to sit on the court.
While Republicans look to grill Jackson about her judicial record.
I want to know about your judicial philosophy, because people on the left, the far extreme part of the left, believe that you were the best bet.
House Democrats hope to finish Jackson's confirmation process before Congress leaves for Easter recess on April 11th.
An Oswego High School employee is in custody after exposing themselves to a student. Jeff Wallace will appear in Oswego court March 31st. This comes after he was arrested for endangering the welfare of a child. Police say the ongoing investigation is where he masturbated during an online one-on-one tutoring session. Anyone with information regarding the case or has other information that should be known, are encouraged to contact Oswego Police Department.
We have an update on the Jordan Brooks case. Lisa and Anthony Waldron have been released on bail after being charged with neglected homicide. 17-year-old Jordan Brooks, the couple's son, who had cerebral palsy, died back in May of 2021. The Oswego County Sheriff's Office says the parents neglected to move Jordan from his wheelchair, causing infected bed sores, along with other signs of neglect found by his teachers and Child Protective Services. The founders of Aaron's Angels, a nonprofit started after the similar case in Oswego County over a decade ago, is now calling for action from local leaders. The couple is expected to return to court on April 4th.
Mayor Barlow says the Oswego Summer Concert Series is coming back to Brightbeck Park, sponsored by the City of Oswego and the Oswego Musicians Collaborative. The 88th year of Tunes will be every Wednesday, starting June 29th and ending August 24th. The event is free to the public and bringing a chair is encouraged. Genres of music will include jazz, show tunes, band music, and much more.
A Tully High School student is fighting back after being censored in his school's Senior Spotlight newsletter. WTOP 10 reporter Scott Brudebager has more.
Quick little story time.
Growing up gay and coming out was one of the biggest challenges Tyler Johnson says he has faced. When he tried to share this feeling with his school, Administration told him it wasn't allowed.
It kind of made me feel like all the progress that I've made the past 2 years and the person that I've become too, they were kind of trying to put me back to where I used to be.
Johnson was chosen to be featured in a senior spotlight section of his school's newsletter last month. After the school refused to run his comments about being gay, Johnson said something had to be done.
So we're pushing for policies that, uplift inclusive teachings and pushing for curriculum.
Johnson took to TikTok to find support after he was censored. His video that was posted in early January explaining the situation now has more than 23,000 views.
And I had people reaching out to me for interviews and legal advice, and I just never expected that to happen. That wasn't my goal. My goal was to just share my story, but then it kind of grew into something a lot larger.
Johnson's story has now been heard across the country, but even with all the media attention, his battle is far from over.
So overall, I feel okay. I feel empowered, I feel strong, and I know that I'm helping other people, and I think it makes me feel better about what's happening.
Johnson says he wants to push for guest speakers and clubs that promote diversity in his school. He says he hopes his story can inspire others to have the courage to be themselves. Reporting from Syracuse, Scott Brubaker, WTOP 10.
Johnson has since been named the Grand Marshal for the 2022 Central New York Pride Parade. For more information on how to support Johnson, you can visit the Time for Change Tully Facebook page.
A new coronavirus variant is making its way to the U.S. The CDC says the BA.2 variant is on its way to becoming the dominant coronavirus strain. And the World Health Organization reports that the BA.2 is another mutation of the Omicron variant. BA.2 is made up of 39% of cases in New Jersey and New York in early March. New York Governor Kathy Hochul encourages New York residents to stay vigilant and get tested if you are feeling sick. The World Health Organization says that vaccines are shown to be as effective as they were against the Omicron as the BA.1. And coming up later tonight, Netflix gets aggressive in their fight to keep users from sharing their passwords and the new tactics they're implementing.
And President Biden's busy week continues as he prepares to meet with European leaders to discuss Ukraine.
Now let's take a quick look at the weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Samantha Carlson.
Well, for what to expect as the week goes on, tomorrow's going to be another day of sunshine, although a little bit cooler, but not going to last because as the week goes on, it's going to be rainy, and it's going to be rainy, kind of chilly as it goes on, but hey, it's officially spring. So flowers for the showers, I guess. And there'll be more after the break.
Athletics. Aaron, there are 6 big points. This is the one you've been waiting for. This group has never beaten Cortland.
Getting started with some men's soccer as the Lakers had 2 conference matchups.
For half of the Lakers' goals this entire season.
Offense is key. You talked all about scoring goals.
Welcome to Understood.org, a free online resource for parents of kids with learning and attention issues, with personalized recommendations, tools, and daily access to experts to help your child thrive. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 News. Leaders in the European Union have reached a turning point in the effort to combat Russian aggression. That comes after Joseph Borrell, the EU's foreign policy chief, who's been working for years to combine the union's military strength. Many countries in the EU are also NATO members, which means that they have been deterrent to Russia and have sent aid to Ukraine in recent weeks. But the EU hasn't made any military commitments against Russia until now.
Need to increase our capacities on security and defense. Certainly is not an answer to the Ukrainian war. We started working 2 years ago, but it's very timely.
The situation in Ukraine remains dire. The city of Mariupol is refusing to surrender today, even after the bombing of a building labeled in huge letters, "Children." President Biden is visiting the European allies this week as the U.S. is stepping up its efforts to help. Amy Kiley reports.
Russian President Vladimir Putin seems undeterred by increasing civilian casualties in Ukraine.
This is really disgusting.
This week, the White House is expanding its efforts to help. President Joe Biden is holding a call with European leaders this morning. Then he's talking with American CEOs about the war. On Wednesday, he travels to Europe for an emergency NATO summit. He'll visit Warsaw, Poland Friday for talks with that country's president about Russia's war in Ukraine. And he's got another invitation.
Why don't he can visit Kyiv next week as a symbol of our solidarity?
The Ukrainian capital is a war zone right now, so Biden does not plan to stop there. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has his own ideas of what he'd like in the president's agenda.
So what I'd like to see the president do is to reassure our Eastern Bloc allies.
The Ukrainian people are begging Biden and the U.S. to offer more support. The besieged city of Mariupol refused Russia's demand to surrender today. The Ukrainian president says he's ready to talk to Putin at any time, but he's worried if talks fail.
That would mean that this is a third world war.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The White House recently approved an $800 million aid package to Ukraine, supplying the country with humanitarian supplies and weapons.
Well, Grace, the weather has been great recently. It's definitely been a lot warmer these past few days. What's your take on it?
Sure. It's been great. It's been beautiful out. Let's go to our meteorologist, Samantha Curson, for more.
So yes, it was warmer, but before we get into that, a little bit of a weather fun fact for today. Back in 1914, Wilmington, North Carolina had a high temperature of only 34 degrees, and it set the lowest record for March. But we're not going to get that cold as our highs. It'll still be up there, but it will dip just a bit, just not that cold. Looking at outside, there's not many clouds. As you can see, there's a little bit of rain off. There's a little bit of rain off to our west. That will just miss Oswego. So it's still dry for tonight, and still dry for Oswego tonight with a little bit of showers up in the North Country. Some rain for later on in the week, but looking at tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy as some clouds move in from the storm that's just passing south of us. A low of 30 degrees, and with light winds from the north. From that, pretty nice night. You just might need your coat to keep you warm there. Looking ahead for tomorrow, it'll be mostly cloudy with a high of around 45 degrees. So again, you're still going to need a little sweater because it's not quite feeling like spring just yet. For tomorrow, though, it'll be a little cooler, like I said, but the sun will at least be out with a high of around 39. But some rain moves in Wednesday, although a little bit warmer, and as well on Thursday, more rain showers going on all the way through. A chance goes for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with a little bit of cool down, and finally the sun comes back on Monday. Stay tuned for sports after this.
We've been marinating chicken in all sorts of liquids for 24 hours. These are vitamins and minerals and things that you need, nutrients. The chicken speedy is a staple of our culture.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News.
For the governor race with a strong lead, former Governor Andrew Cuomo is...
Barlow announced the completion of a large building mural in downtown Oswego.
The renovations on the Hewitt Union building, turning it into the new Hewitt Hall.
And as we move into tomorrow, that rain is going to be in our area.
Moving to the Diamond now, as Sweet Caroline got a lot sweeter last night.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. Here's your health update.
Today is World Down Syndrome Day. The CDC says each year about 6,000 babies in the U.S. are born with the condition. Babies with Down syndrome can also have heart defects at birth. Mandy Gaither has more on one family's fight to save their baby.
Before Weston Hendershot was born, his parents were blindsided. First told their baby boy would have Down syndrome, then learned he also had a heart defect.
You have all of the worst thoughts going through your head. Will our little guy make it? Will we see him be born?
The parents say doctors weren't able to answer those questions either, but in October 2020, Weston was born at Cleveland Clinic Children's. Still, his heart was struggling.
A heart condition is, life or death. So the more you can get knowledge for yourself, the better.
Weston's doctors did an echocardiogram, which is a graphic outline of the heart's movement.
To demonstrate signs of pulmonary hypertension or elevated pressures on the right side of the heart.
Weston's doctor says that's common for babies born with Down syndrome. In fact, he says about 40 to 50% of babies with the condition will have heart problems. 6 months after he was born, Weston went through surgery at Cleveland Clinic to repair his heart.
He is thriving at 17 months. He has, 100% heart repair.
Weston's parents didn't know heart problems were common in babies with Down syndrome. That's why his mom says getting an echocardiogram is key. It let them know of the problem. While doctors continue to follow Weston's progress, his future is bright.
Bye-bye.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The purpose of World Down Syndrome Day is to raise awareness about the condition and urge people to advocate for full inclusion of those with the condition.
Vaccine advisors to the Food and Drug Administration are set to meet next month to discuss the possible need for COVID-19 booster shots. During their discussions, they could discuss if the new COVID vaccine could become an annual shot similar to the flu shots. They will also look at the potential for having variant-specific booster shots. Representatives from the Center for Disease and Control, the National Institute of Health, will take part in this meeting.
Be cautious before you make your next breakfast. Continental Mills is announcing a recall of all its great value buttermilk pancake and waffle mix. According to the FDA, cable fragments that are used in the process lining were found in some boxes. The boxes being recalled have a best buy date by September 1st, 2023. Consumers are advised to return the product to the place of purchase for a refund. There have been no related injuries reported.
Netflix knows its users share their passwords, and they are finally taking action against it. The streaming platform plans to charge users who share an account but do not live in the same household. So far, this is only a test being rolled out in Chile, Costa Rica, and Peru. Experts in the field say that the company is trying to hit profitability.
Where they keep their existing users happy and engaged. Password sharing is definitely a part of that, but it's very clear that you're getting at least $1 more per user per quarter.
Experts also say that depending on the user reaction to the change, other popular streaming services could soon follow. And coming up in sports is Alex Brooks.
Alex, can you give us a quick preview of what's to come?
Yes, I can. We'll take a preview at two Laker athletes from the Diamond, who's battling in the Sweet 16 this week, and a homecoming at Madison Square Garden last night. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Monday Nightly News on WTOP 10.
This job looks perfect. It says you need a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Major Discussions is the new show that explores the stories of students right here on campus. I personally came here to SUNY Oswego for the broadcasting program because I love to hear people's stories and to do work just like this.
Welcome back to WTOP 10. I'm Alex Brooks with your sports report, and let's dive right in. It was spring break for SUNY Oswego, but that didn't stop Laker athletes Ryan Enos and Fiona Higgins from having some outstanding performances on the diamond. Starting off with Higgins, the Buffalo natives tossed a no-hitter and a complete game effort against Defiance College Tuesday, capturing the Lakers' first win of the season. The Southpaw struck out 10 and has 37 strikeouts with a 1.00 ERA. On the flip side, Ryan Enos leads the SUNYAC in batting average at .558, including 12 RBIs in just this past week. The senior has helped catapult the Lakers to a dominating 10-3 record on the season. This great start to the season for the Lakers has been in large part to their success away from the cold. The Lakers wrapped up their spring break success with a 6-4 win against Johns Hopkins on Saturday. Julian Drew and Ryan Enos both collected 2 hits as the two seniors have been raking on the season. The Lakers went 6-1 in the Sunshine State and look to continue their success against the SUNYAC next week. NCAA March Madness is starting to heat up as the women's basketball tournament is in its second round of matchups. The 4 number 1 seeds have advanced to the Sweet 16, highlighted by South Carolina and Stanford. The Wichita region is wrapping up their second round matchups, including Belmont in Tennessee and Princeton in Indiana. The Sweet 16 matchups will be played starting on Saturday, with the Elite 8 being played on Sunday. As March starts coming to a close, March Madness is down to 16 remaining teams in the men's tournament. The remaining teams will face off in the Sweet 16 with games starting this Thursday, an event that many fans participate in. The tournament is always prone to upsets. These include 11-seed Michigan defeating 3-seed Tennessee and 15-seed St. Peter's defeating 7-seed Murray State. Following this weekend, there will be 4 teams remaining in an anticipated Final Four matchup. Let's go to the Garden as the Jazz traveled to New York City to play the Knicks Sunday night to start the road trip. Late in the first, Jordan Clarkson, top of the key, shoots a 3 and he banks it to make it a 5-point gain. Donovan Mitchell got 15 on the game so far, takes a 3, money, and he has 18. Knicks trying to answer back, down Randall to RJ Barrett, answers back, down 7 going into the third. Knicks down 8 in the middle of the third. Evan Fournier banks a 3. He already has 3 three-pointers, adds a 4th. Jazz up 7, goes to Mitchell, and you have to give it to him. He makes that all the time, and he can't believe how easy it is. Knicks trying to crawl right back quickly. And speaking of quickly, he drains one from downtown, and it is a 5-point game once again. Mitchell trying to put it away himself, gets it, spins around, and he slams it down with authority. Donovan Mitchell with 8 boards tonight says good night to the hometown faithful with that 3. He had 38 points and 6 assists on the game.
Thank you so much, Alex. Samantha, can we get a final weather check?
Well, tomorrow is going to be sunny once again, a little bit cooler, but not too bad. It's Wednesday that the rain's going to come in, although a little bit warmer than tomorrow, but rain follows through until the weekend, the chances, so.
Are we going to see any snow at all, or just rain?
A small chance for a little bit of snow, but not really. You might see flakes.
Sounds good to me.
All right, well, that's our report tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for the Son of Saw Show.
Thank you for watching, and have a great night, everyone.
Athletics. Aaron, there were 6 big points. This is the one you've been waiting for. This group has never beaten Cortland.
Getting started with some men's soccer as the Lakers had 2 conference matchups.
For half of the Lakers' goals this entire season.
Offense is key. You talked all about scoring goals.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News.
For the governor race with a strong lead, former Governor Andrew Cuomo is...
Barlow announced the completion of a large building mural in downtown Oswego.
The renovations on the Hewitt Union Building, turning it into the new Hewitt Hall.
And as we move into tomorrow, that rain is going to be in our area.
Moving to the Diamond now, as Sweet Caroline got a lot sweeter last night.
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire, but you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
We've been marinating chicken in all sorts of liquids for 24 hours. These are vitamins and minerals and things that you need, nutrients. The chicken speedy is a staple of our culture.